Hello, party people. This is Malcolm. I am being very messy right now, as you can see. Got all the tools of the trade here, and it's just a big, messy, moving stuff around fest at the moment. I even got buildings on tracks. So I was just going to do a quick update, climb up on my trusty squeaky stool, and talk. My dog was bitten today in the neck, and so my wife is picking him up from the vet. It's very sad. But I just want to do a little quickie update. I managed to do a little bit on this back mountain area, including I had some like a splash of plaster on the back, so I just painted it, that little painted section there, which I took 5 seconds doing that. It was really not anything major. When you come back here, it's so far away. It's like, you don't really think about it. So I was thinking, it's like, well, what if I were to do that back here on this back wall here? Where's my finger? There we are. This one, just do a really vague cityscape back there. So I might do that. I don't know. So yeah, really like a first pass at doing some scenic stuff back there. And when you're down here and it's going to be behind all these buildings and stuff, I think it'll be fine. So we'll see. I might do another pass. I might just leave it. So we'll see how that goes. I did away with the plates in this section because what I ended up having is, like, see how this is exposed here. I had all these little sections like this that I had to go in and deal with the track and everything. So I was like, well, I could do that, or I could do the same thing I did over here and just do foam core. Meh, it's fine, I think. Especially once I get, like over here, once I get cars on and street markings and do some weathering and stuff, I think it'll be fine. And it works. It works well with the uniplate. And then I'll have like a road going across here. And I'll do the same thing I did. I'm going to do a slow sweep across. Back over here, back in the day, just use styrene to create like a little crossing and the like. So I think that'll work out a lot better than the Swiss cheese I had going that looked like this. These little patches of bare stuff that I had to fill in. So that's much easier than doing that. And it was kind of a fun process. I did the same thing back here. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. But essentially I had this weird shape. So it's like this, and it goes like this, and that, and this has here, and this is here. And I was like, well, how am I going to do that? I can't see through the foam core. And so what I did was I just folded paper, Xerox paper, and just folded it and taped it. Folded it, taped it into that shape, then took that off, used it as a template, drew around my foam core and sliced it and popped it right in. It worked out great. And so I still have like these little areas to fill in, but this is nothing compared to what it was. It was so much to fill in. I may do a similar treatment here to deal with this. I'm not sure. So it would be like basically like from here over and fill in here to maybe this little section or something. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. I'm going to sit with this for a while and see how I like it. But that's that back section. So I have buildings kind of all shoved in over here. May do the same thing with this section, just to get it nice, even playing field. But I'll see. It would seem to make sense. Just take it underneath this bridge and take it all around here and back in there. So do another piece for that, piece for this, and call it good. We'll see. I still need to address this whole back section. Sadly, these Kato cars that I got, these passenger cars here. I really love the look of them, and the one in the back even has like little, back lights that come on. But they derail like crazy. And so I had one that was derailing a lot. Someone said it was probably out of gauge. I even weighted them. That didn't really help. But now these two are okay for now, but we'll see if it lasts. But I do, you can see, have this little section here where stuff is floaty floaty. So I'm going to go back in there with some more plaster gauze, I believe. Same with the back, maybe. I might need the back, so you don't really see that. But hit this with plaster gauze, as well as swoop around. Sorry, squeak, squeak. I did this little section here. So this will be raised, and it'll have like a raised roadway that comes up through the center and then down again over here. And I'm thinking about hitting this with plaster cloth across to make that little jump from this higher area up here where the train runs to the deck down here, and just make it like a little whoop, whoop, whoop. I'll see. I may not, but it seems to make sense. So I'll do that. And the road will come through here and swoop around and go back there. So we'll see how that goes. Still playing around with this. I did the shipping area. What I wanted to have kind of a deck that ran right up to the where the cars are here, like that. If you can see that. Try to not knock anything down here. And then I'll have my my trusty forklifts being able to unload and bring stuff over to these areas over here, the shipping areas. So I'm still playing around with this, but this is the first incarnation of the new shipping area. So we'll see how that goes. I originally wanted this and this guy to be side by side with this piece in between like I had them before, but this space is just not enough space, and I wanted it to look like the trucks could actually be kind of lined up. So we'll see. I may play around with that a little bit. Nothing has changed over here. This is still pretty darn solid. I'm going to do street markings and the like, but I think that's pretty much all that's going to happen there. And then this whole section is going to be like this more industrial section back here, and I have to figure that out. I'm going to do some searching on some industrial sections of Japan and how they look, and see if I can sort that out as well. What else here? Did more scenicking. Can't even remember when the last time I did an update was, but more scenicking on Temple Hill here, and so that's looking pretty good. Yeah, it's getting there. I built the little base for the temple, the main temple building. Where am I? Here you go. This little guy made it look like stone. So there'll be stairs leading up to that. I'm also going to do a thing where I have some kind of walkway going up the hillside here up to the temple area. And then this top portion here lifts off so I can get into my tunnel, which I also have to finish up here, as you can see. But yeah, it's coming along. The big thing right now, folks playing at home, is this area over here. Can't really tell with these buildings in the way, but it's a pretty darn steep grade. Let me see if I can move this building. Steep grade to get up to the top of that hill, as you can see. It works, and I can get stuff to do what I want, but it's a little tricky, a little technical. So what I was giving a thought to do is actually lift up this whole section and just make this higher, but I don't really want to do that. I like it how it is right now. And so I think I'm just going to sit with that, but I also don't want it to be one of those things where later on down the line, here we're back to tearing everything up, because that doesn't work. So I should have made it a little lower. I got a little over over enthusiastic with the height, I think. You can see how high it is over here. It's pretty decent size height. I like it. I think it really creates a lot of interest and is kind of interesting and fun. And I really like how it's working over here in this area with the harbor and everything else. I think that's going to be a lot of fun as well. But it's sketchy. Here on this side, let me see if I can zoom out again. I have less of a slope. It's a more gradual slope up. It's still a little steep, but it's not as steep as the other side. So really, it'd just be fixing the side over here. But I think I may leave it for now. And then I did the same, back in a couple months ago. I did the same foam core look here, and I have, the tram going through and stuff. And so I might end up keeping some of this water, and doing like a little land coming out, making it look like a little pond in here, and then all this will go away when the road goes through and stuff. So we'll see how that goes as well. I think that's pretty much it as far as the updates go. It's just a lot of shifting stuff around right now. And I think once I get things like this dialed in more, I'll be able to do more finalizing. This is the building that I kind of kit bashed together for my dad, who's no longer with us. But I was saying, like, this is a place that he'd like to go. You have a view of a train. It's like a little sports bar club kind of situation. So that'll be up probably off of this base here. And then this will be blocked off on the side. So that's working much better. This was down originally, and I think it's going to now be part of this section rather than be part of this section over here. And I think that'll be nice. And then once that's together, I'll be able to kind of finalize and get all this dialed in as far as like, painting this up and all that fun stuff. So that'll be good. And I also have more Senke buildings because I'm an idiot. I originally looked at this area and I believe this area here, and I said, oh, there's room for more buildings. And I went and ordered more buildings, and then I realized like it's not a whole lot of area. It's still some area, but not a whole lot. So the game plan now is to build out those additional buildings and then figure out where they're going to live on the layout. And play around. Once I get all the buildings built, then I can start playing around with, just how things are set up and how the streets are going to go and all that. Right now, this is like an alleyway, and there's like a street here. That would kind of like, if it was real, it kind of go around here maybe into Shizuoka itself. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe this street would go around and connect up to here. I just like thinking about that stuff, even if I'm not actually doing it. It's like, well, where's the street going if it goes leading off? Does it go, where's it go? So it would kind of make sense if that was like a big loop and it would come around and come out here and go back in here. So we'll see. We'll figure that out. That's not a big deal. And then there's some areas I just don't have anything really going on yet. Like back here, it's just like a big wasteland of plaster. So that's another fun one to reach. This is a good, from where I'm standing right now to back there, it's a good 6 feet. So, this makes it a little challenging to get back there. And it's different than having those modules back there that I could lift out and then detail up and put back. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm happy with this new track. The other thing I had to deal with recently was I don't know what they call them, but the little rubber wheels that help grip the track on this guy. I have one in the front and one in the back. This train, it runs really well, staccato, and I love it. And it's usually like my rock star, like even if the track is a little dirty, it's like, I can handle it. But it was just running awfully, and I was just like, what happened here? And it turns out that one of those little rubber gripper wheels that is around the wheel came off, and it was wedged in and basically dragging it to a stop. And before I figured it out, I was kept on going and kept on like kind of nudging it, like, why does it keep stopping? And then the other one came off because it was doing all the work. And so I had to figure out how to get that back on. So now I am an expert in getting those little things back on. So that's nice. But yeah, it's coming along. There's another thing. I don't have any on my layout right now because I gave it to my friend. But there's a woodland scenics type of foliage that is very similar to the lichen here. But I don't like that because I don't like the lichen because it looks like what it is. It's like it's not really fooling anybody. It's passable, but this other stuff that Woodland Scenics had was great. It was like this, it kind of like I don't really see anything, but there's standard foliagey kind of stuff like this, but it had like this texture. It was almost like a woven mat that you can pull apart and then place, and it looked like vines and stuff growing down. It was awesome, but I can't find it online. I don't know what it's called. So I have to get to a hobby store with a huge selection of that stuff and see if I can find it. I got it from a friend of mine, and I was like, oh, I'll give this stuff a shot. And I ended up loving it. And of course, the package got cleaned and put away. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. Let me do the dive under so I can get the other side. I'm running a little bit long on this video. But yeah, I got this area is looking pretty nice. I still have to, go back in and do some touch-ups and some additions. But overall, I like how it's looking. You got the temple area here and people getting married, which is nice. That's a nice little scene element there. Oh. And when the train comes through here, it's really nice. I'm not going to run any trains today just because I'm just wearing thin. But that's nice. I like the view coming up over the hill. I'll have to do another good camera kind of nice little flyover because I love stuff like this where it's like up over the hill and there's the whole town. Soyokaze. Beautiful. So I'll do that one day soon, I hope. And then, this kind of area over here is looking very, very city-like as well, so that's nice. So yeah, it's coming along, and I'm really happy that I made these changes. It's far more dynamic, and it has a lot more action, and a lot more kind of nice scenes going on. And once I get some things finalized, it's going to be really nice. It'll be nice getting cars back into the Shizuka, making that look more realistic, start putting more people in. So yeah, there's my Omoro guy that I'm a total fanboy of, Amuro Designs. He uses something to stick his people down, and the people just stick and they stay. And I don't know what that is. I gotta find that stuff though because it's awesome. He literally he'll have like a bunch of people, and then he'll just pick one up and just go bloop and place it, and it just stays. It stays right up, and there's no like I get with mine. Gotta figure out what that stuff is. But yeah, if anyone has any knowledge on, putting figures down, what they use for that, so they stick fast and they don't do a little weird move at the end, that'd be fantastic. All right, all. Thank you for watching my long-winded video today, and I will update again soon. Thanks.